Touchdown. Hey folks, hope you're well. Zito here. This is episode 2 of my kayak build, and if y'all recall from episode 1, we spent 14 hours in which we basically unboxed this thing, put together the panels, and then stitched it all together to basically create the shape and form of the kayak. Well, in this particular episode, what we're gonna do is effectively glue up all those particular joints, snip off all the stitches that we put together, and then, fiberglass it so that it's basically a working boat. At the end of this particular episode, what we're gonna do is gonna see if it floats and see if it, kind of runs true and stuff. So what you're gonna see in this particular episode is putting together the boat to get to this particular point here. And yeah, it's kind of a bit of a fun one. So without further ado, let's hop into it. So after having stitched the kayak together in part 1, we had to ensure that the hull was fair. And to do that, what we did was we ensured that at both the aft and bow bulkheads, that the boat was effectively level. Once this was accomplished, we made some thickened epoxy with the wood flour and some boatle tote and glue between the seams. This was effectively tack welding the boat into place, and this was done with my lovely partner, Amber. So this was actually done in multiple parts. We lifted the base of the boat for the second day because I noticed that when it was sitting on the stands, it was actually kind of depressed. So on the second day, we were able to raise the boat and basically, ensured that the lines weren't being depressed by those stands. Okay, so at this point, we're about 1.5 to 2 hours deep into gluing up in between all the stitches. The boat is fairly strong and secure on its own. So at this point, what we're gonna do is the 330 or so stitches, we're just gonna clip them all out, pull out each of the stitches, and then just continue gluing all amongst all the little seams here and get all these seams filled in and all our holes kind of filled in. So we'll see how long this takes. Okay, so at this point, with everything mostly coated on the inside, all the cracks seem to be coated with epoxy, and we've kind of filled in any holes and stuff. We're ready to almost flip it over, and we're gonna kind of effectively do the same on the other side, just to ensure that, we don't have any large gaps or cracks and stuff that we'll fiberglass over top of. We're gonna go ahead and flip it, reverse it, and yeah, fill in the cracks. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, it's stiff. Booty. Oh yeah, feeling strong. All right, so at this point, we've got things sanded to a point where I think I'm happy enough with it to start fiberglassing. Things are smooth, the edges are rounded over. So the next step is to roll out some fiberglass, drape it on all nice and stuff, like a nice dress and stuff. And then yeah, start throwing some epoxy on top of that, impregnate it.
Just keep breathing, keep in.
I'm breathing! We'll basically have a strong exterior from there, and we can even test if it floats and stuff. But yeah, all the fiberglassing, and yeah, let's make this happen. So with things more or less glued together, we had to account for some unevenness in the fiberglassing / epoxy stage, and I went ahead and sanded the boat down. This is basically one of my least favorite things. So this time around, for the first time ever, I ensured that I was wearing a full Tyvek suit so I wouldn't get as itchy. After this, we added another coat of epoxy so that the vessel shimmered, and then following this, it was effectively time for the moment of truth to see if this boat would in fact float.
Okay, so let's see if this thing floats. I know I got these floaties on there, but that was literally just for the car. And so the moment of truth.
The water just unthawed not too long ago, so it is mega cold in here. And here we go. It floats. Sweet. It seems like it runs fairly true and stuff as well. Just kind of going back and forth like this, so that is mega exciting. Sweet. Okay. Whew. That assures me in a lot of ways there. Oh. Okay. Whew. So thanks so much for checking this out. It's been a blast to finally get to this particular point in this particular build. This took a little while to do, as you saw. You know, we started with some snow in the air, and then now I'm basically in a t-shirt and shorts. So things have taken a little while. I took a little time off. I kind of built a chicken coop, which I'm gonna have a video out on. Chickens have been awesome. Like, they've been such a rad part of our lives. And we also built the garden and stuff, so we're kind of getting all the spring, summer things kind of taken care of. And yeah, finally got this thing out to give it a shot. So pretty pumped on how it's performing. And now that we've got kind of the groundwork done, it's time for the fun part, like making the skateboard deck, and it'll really make this thing pop. So I'm pretty excited for all of that. So just in terms of a time update, this particular section, the sanding, the fiberglassing, everything took about 13.5 hours, which brings this build thus far up to about 27.5 hours to get to this point. Compare it to like my cedar strip canoe, this would have taken basically 100 hours to get to this point. So, you know, this process definitely saved time. This definitely seems like it's gonna be a wonderful boat once it's all done. So, you know, aiming for hopefully this season to finish it. But yeah, definitely stoked. Gonna have some chicken stuff coming out, and we're getting going on our sauna build as well. So, all the things. So yeah, thank you so much. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one. More to come.